Are you the responsible one? The one that consistently has to take care of everyone and everything in your life and in your business? Your staff, your employees, your team. When you leave, it's your kids, your spouse, your family. It just doesn't end. And what happens as a result? You have all these windows up because you're not only thinking about all the things that you need to do to get all the things you need to do done, but you're thinking about all of the things that everyone else in your life needs as well. And what is that costing you, right? How do you feel? Is that impacting your wellness, your mindset, your emotional health, your physical health? I'm gonna share with you 2 things that could help you actually find more peace of mind, more time, and more energy today. Hi, my name's Adam Esco, and this is something that I work with on my clients. And these clients, by the way, are so successful. They're so successful because they have constantly been on, they've learned how to take care of so many things, they pride themselves on multitasking. And I had a client I was working with in the past, and she said that she was the mom of her team. There was a small team that she worked with, and she was an amazing leader. And she went so far as to say that if there wasn't enough money coming in and the team was going down, that she would not pay herself and have the team get paid. And when you hear that at first, what's your reaction? Your reaction is to say, like, that is incredibly noble. That is such an amazing leader. And she was, and that's all fine and good, and that's true. But what happens when you go on an airplane and they say, if the masks come down, you're supposed to what? Put your mask on first and then take care of your child that's next to you. So she was an amazing leader, and she loved her team, and her team loved her. But what was the impact on her? She was drained. She was tired energetically. There was not enough time in the day. The weekends were for recovery. And when someone on her team came in with a personal issue and they brought that energy into the group and into the meetings, she took that on because she identified so much with her team and she wasn't able to take care of herself. So the 2 things you really want to look for, 2 things you really want to ask yourself is, first, what are my basic needs? What are they? It's self-awareness. It's, hey, what are the things that I need? What are the 1, 2, 3, 4 things that I absolutely need to take care of myself? Pressing pause and actually getting clear, what are my basic needs? It goes back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What are the things that I actually had? I'd be able to close a lot of those windows that are open and pop them and close that and actually turn off the fight or fleas part of my brain, the amygdala, the limbic system that's absolutely driving my behavior right now and driving me crazy and draining me. What are those basic needs? Getting clear on what that is. And that's gonna change. It's a moving target. That's gonna continue to change as you go through life. In fact, I was remembering a time when the pandemic hit. It was COVID, and my wife and I were home, and we have 3 kids, and we were trying to figure out what our basic needs were, because all of a sudden, as you all know, our world flips upside down. Everything changes. And so what we were saying is, it wasn't really working. We were both tired, we were both stressed. And this is very personal, and that's great. And what we said is, well, why don't we take like a few days, figure out what our needs are, and actually come back and share that so we can figure out ways to get it. And we found out that I just needed a couple hours in the day to get some of my personal stuff done, some alone time, and she needed the same thing. So then it was actually getting creative and figuring out how to get those needs met. So your needs, your basic needs, are your responsibility. It's your own self-awareness. Someone can't tell you what your needs are. They can't tell you. You have to figure that out for yourself. And the second and most important step, and this could be really challenging for some people that are on the spectrum, right? So the way you think about this is, there's a line, there's a spectrum, and on one end of the spectrum is this total selfishness, narcissistic. There is no one else in the world, it's just me. And you may hear that and you're like, oh, I can think of a couple people that are like that. And the other end of the spectrum is this total selflessness, and it's altruism, and it's total service, and there is no you. It's just taking care of others. And so either end of the spectrum isn't necessarily healthy. It isn't necessarily serving you in all instances. So what you want to ask yourself is, where am I on that spectrum? Where is it that I need to be a little bit closer to the other end? If you're on that selflessness, if you're taking care of so many people, if you're responsible for so many and there's just no time for yourself, how can you find out what your basic needs? And the second thing really is, how can you allow yourself to get it? How can you ask for it? How can you put yourself first? How can you be a little bit more selfish, self-care, to make sure that you have your cup filled? When you fill your cup, when you put your mask on the airplane first, you're able to not only show up the way you want to show up, to perform when you need to perform, to take care of your emotional, spiritual, psychological, and physical well-being, but it's also showing up and being that leader, being that person that can take to serve others as well, a more full version of yourself, the better version of yourself, the one that's not operating from fear, doubt, and worry. So that's what I have to offer you. Something to think about, getting clear on your needs and allowing yourself to get it, the two things. I'm gonna put some more videos out there. I absolutely encourage you to please send comments, see what resonated, what didn't. This is you say the word selfish and that can be a very triggering word. And what I really mean is self-care. So if that triggers you and that doesn't resonate, that's okay. And if it does, I'd love to hear your comment below regardless. Good luck and see you soon.